we can take a look at the Cowboys defense a little bit. I mean, the Saints just lined up in heavy personnel and beat the crap out of them. Here's one thing I wanted to make a point about. Ravens haven't had this. You and I are looking at some stuff earlier of Ravens kind of downfield threats. We talked about Chris Long's comments that they don't quite have this. Lamar's only completed one pass over 20 air yards so far. And Rashid Shaheed here is just simply going to run through the middle of these two safeties. He is just simply going to run through. They kind of don't think the ball is going to come out, taking weird paths, and Derek Carr puts enough mustard on it, and he just runs away. And it's lazy. There was lazy defense all week. Do the Ravens have this? Is this in your bag? Can you split the defenders? Who are you going to ask to do that? We were thinking maybe Devontae Walker here is kind of the guy that could come in and be that long strider. Nelson Aguilar, not really the downfield threat he once was. Zay Flowers, we have seen do this. Zay Flowers is a smaller dude, though. Shaheed's like 6'1", long strider, a little bit bigger catch radius. Bateman is supposed to be this guy, but he's not as fast as Shaheed. He can't straight up just burn, especially since that foot injury. So that'll loosen you up, right? That'll lube you up as a defense. Oh, they're just going to rip it downfield against our safeties. And that's what everyone keeps talking about this week. Oh, ban too high, ban this, ban that. You got to just throw the ball sometimes. If you want to beat it, you got to throw it over top. You can still do it. You can still rip the go routes. You can still rip the deep post. You got to just do the damn thing.
And Lamar's had the opportunity, I think, through these first two games to make a few of these throws, and not to criticize him too much because he's been put in a tough spot with this offensive line. But you look at a miss to Likely in that Chiefs game. I think you look at the kind of sale on Andrews this past week against the Raiders. And obviously you're talking about a different type of play conceptually where you're talking about a bigger bodied guy going up and making the kind of rebound. But Lamar didn't even really put it in the spot for those guys to be able to do that on those particular throws. You're talking more about opening it up with a Zay Flowers where, I mean, 1 year ago, almost to the day, that was a week 2 game against the Bengals where Lamar lets one fly to Zay Flowers. And he does have 2 safeties in on him tight, but Zay goes up and makes the catch. And I think it's a little bit about faith too, of just letting it rip and seeing if you can get one of those, because I think if you do hit one of those early, that could set a really good tenor for the game offensively, because it'll open things up underneath for an offense that could use a little bit more space down there right now.
Yeah, timing is the big issue to me, and faith is the word. Derek Carr had faith in that throw. He ripped it. He just ripped it. And you mentioned that Zay Flowers play against the Bengals. Lamar just ripped it. You got to just rip it. Just rip it. To quote, not Carmi, who's what was the brother's name in the Bear?
It's what is it?
Mikey?
Mikey, yeah, Mikey Bear. Yeah, I love
Mikey
you.
Bear.
Let it rip.
Let it rip. There you go. Love you. Let it rip. So speaking of letting it rip, the Cowboys are letting the Saints here get a huge numbers advantage. The way, and we can get into the player breakdown. Everyone's crucifying the defensive tackles, the linebackers, and I definitely get it, especially on the linebackers. The numbers advantage here is bad. We're looking at 1, Chris Olave, Taysom Hill, who can block, and 3 linemen. And then what do we got on the Cowboys defense here? The Saints are going to motion a 7th body, including Kamara. This is 7 bodies on 4 bodies here. We're going to see 35 make a play across. This is what their Cowboys are going to need to do. This could have been a bigger run. Kamara probably could have followed a little bit to the outside there behind 75. 35 runs the alley here, but that's free. That was a free 3-4 yards. Absolutely free. Linebackers are put in a pickle just pre-snap. Can that be on them? Yeah, sure. This is Mike Zimmer defense here. Zimmer, spending time at Colorado. The Saints did a good job. What is Mike Zimmer known for? Pressure. Pressure looks, blitzing, mugging, cover 0, all that stuff. Kind of like the zone wink Martindale. So linebackers put in a weird spot there. Staying out of letting Zimmer get into pressure looks, I think, is big. Here, I don't know what the linebackers are doing. I don't know what anyone's doing. There's no pursuit. Kamara is deceptively fast. He does always look like he's jogging, but untouched off just a little basic screen. Untouched. We'll get a better look here from the end zone. Again, we can see the numbers. Now they're like, all right, to the strength of the formation, we've got kind of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys aligned. Still, you can get a hat on a hat and there's a back, but now we just see a basic little screen and it's clean. It's in rhythm. I don't want to undersell the Saints selling this, but what is 21 doing? What is 28 doing? What is 6 doing? Move your feet. They're watching. They're just watching. Like this is what is the Twitter account of the dude that does like the film room after the game. And he just is like, 31 took your sister out to lunch, read the newspaper. What are you doing here? Your girlfriend called you. You went and bought her a purse, like all that stuff. That's what I feel like I'm watching here.
Moment was too big, pissed down his leg.
Moment was too big, pissed down his leg. Like they don't even piss. They just don't even turn. Like I don't know. I do not know what the hell's going on. Then wanted to talk about a play that the Ravens run a lot. This same side kind of toss. We've seen Henry get this a ton in Tennessee. We saw Henry have one of these against the Ravens. I don't know if it was in London last year. Ravens ran it last week. Same side. So we're going to see Kamara in the backfield. He's aligned wide. That kind of is a pass indicator to me. So you're like, all right, I'm going to pin my ears back. Nope. They are just going to pop the ball out to Kamara. They're going to seal inside, and look at this perfect staggered wall of linemen coming downfield. You've got a lead blocker for Kamara. This is when the Saints are up big. He just tiptoes out of bounds. There are multiple runs in this game when they are up big where they had it. It was in the bag. If you're in a close game for some reason, they're mugged up. That's a Zimmer look there. You're getting pass indicators. Nope, just flip the ball, pull some dudes. Kamara just kind of is like, all right, I'm good. Henry is rumbling on you there, absolutely rumbling. And this is the same thing. I said this is just sad. You see Shaheed come in motion. This is just sad football. Just fucking sad. I don't know. There's no pursuit. Micah Parsons' comments to me are so truthful. This is not, especially in week 2, this is not the effort you're looking to put forth. Kind of reminds you maybe of that Browns game against the Ravens when Baker Mayfield said make them throw the ball. Ravens are just chickens with their heads cut off. Their linebackers don't know what the hell is going on. I mean, they're up big already. Just walking into the end zone. Nobody is making any spectacular effort. So how do I stop presenting this video? I need to get it out of here. There we go. So get that out. Just sad, man. Just absolutely sad. Luke Yates here says that I noticed the DBs are a non-factor in the run game. They are not a factor. There is no savior on the back seven. There is not a Roquan Smith. There is not a Fred Warner. There is not a Minkah Fitzpatrick. There is no one that is like foaming at the mouth to get to the football at all costs. It's the exact opposite. These are all house cats. They all played like house cats. Their DBs are sitting in these split safety looks and just kind of watching the game go by. I would be floored to see that happen 2 games in a row. I would be floored. I don't know. I know who Mike Zimmer is, and I've watched lots of content of him. He was into the content game a little bit. You know he's going apeshit, bananas, bonkers in that film room throughout practice. Micah Parsons clearly pissed off. He's a savior. Tank Lawrence is a savior. He'll make the above and beyond effort. No one else was. The linebackers are just getting washed out. The numbers are off. Deuce blocks are easy. The zone run game was easy. So see if they can stop it, man. And here's my Todd Monken get out of your own way. Ravens had 2 big runs with Derrick Henry, zone, pushing the ball out to the sideline. Make them stop it. And just because they stop it once, that's fine. Make them stop it again. It's a small defense. You have in the comments, small linebackers. It's a small defense. Small. They look small. They look timid. I want to see Likely get after it. I want to see them tackle Isaiah Likely. I think he has to be a huge factor in this game. We didn't see them emphasize him at all, really. Part of what I think made Likely have such a good stat line against the Chiefs was 2-minute drill, especially at the end. He had 3 catches real quick. Quick 25 yards on 3 catches. That'll juice up the stat line. But he's the best, most dangerous guy after the catch you have, I would say. Zay Flowers can do some definitely special things, but Isaiah Likely is a madman. He is a yak rack demon right now and has been throughout his college career, throughout last year, throughout this year. Work him in space, manufacture 3-4 touches to him, get him going, run the ball to the outside, see if you can loosen him up a little bit. I mean, let's talk about the fact that the Saints don't have a mobile quarterback, right? I thought I said the Cowboys. Saints don't have a mobile quarterback. That's another threat for the Cowboys to now account for. Should be easy, man. It should be easy. And just because they stop it once does not mean you have to go away from it. You don't have to get into the unpredictable. It's like they're spinning a big wheel to stay random. They're spinning a wheel with plays on it, and they're just pulling a new play off. Like, oh, how can we be so unpredictable? Just run the damn ball, punish them on the outside, make those DBs and linebackers run and hit. You have Derrick Henry. You just watch Kamara tear them up. Saints do have a better offensive line. I will say the Saints are operationally much cleaner. They're more in rhythm. But make the Cowboys stop the run. And that's where you'll watch, okay, what if you fumble the football and lose the ball? What if there's a strip sack? What if there's a tip pass interception? Get back into it. Do not let anything knock the rhythm of making them stop the football, making them tackle Isaiah Likely, making them tackle Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry, Run Justice Hill on some zone out of pistol. Run Justice Hill, who's quick as shit.
Have some pride in who you are and what you want to do. Derrick Henry was a statement signing. And I think some people maybe didn't like the fact that they're getting back to, you know what, we're a big physical running offense. But that's what you wanted to be, right? That's why you signed him. That's what you're trying to identify yourself as. And having pride in who you are, it doesn't necessarily mean force feeding him on first down and trying to set a tone that way. But you signed him to be a 3rd and 2 team. Get yourself into 3rd and 2, get yourself into 4th and inches and pound the rock and just get back to that idea of like, we're going to get ahead in the count. And listen, maybe we will strike out when we get down to a 4th and inches, but that's okay. We're just going to get ourselves into manageable situations. We're going to manage the game. We're going to control the clock. We're going to control the ball. We're going to hopefully win the turnover battle. Like, they signed Derrick Henry to get back to a more simple kind of basic idea. And we talk all about, you know, we've talked all about, even in this podcast, about the fact that things are kind of cycling back towards the running game because defenses are smaller. The NFL is cyclical. We're getting back to that point. It should be easier than ever for you. And whatever you have to do, if you have to be creative, if you have to get the ball to Likely a little bit more, if you have to get Zay Flowers on some easy touches to get yourself into 2nd and 5, to get yourself into 3rd and 1, just get ahead in the count and just simplify the game. And I think they, honestly, I feel like they did a pretty good job of that against the Chiefs. And then against the Raiders, the tone just was not set early. They just looked a little frantic. They looked a little bit like I said in the jumbo set, it looked like they were just trying to get through that one. And it looked like they were messing around with some stuff. And they were like, all right, we'll see if we can, you know, it's 3rd and, you know, 2nd and 11. Let's see if we can mix Flowers in. Let's see if we can hit a big throw here. And they just overcomplicated it for themselves a little bit. You've got this dynamic quarterback, to your point, that the Saints really don't have. You've got Derrick Henry, you've got Justice Hill, you've got Isaiah Likely, you've got Zay Flowers. Like, set yourself up, make it easier to get yourself in a position where, like, I'm going to keep coming back to 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 4th and 1, 4th and inches. You've got the horses, hopefully, to go ahead and convert in those situations. So put yourself there and hopefully profit.